not free, do not cross it, people. I don't understand. It is not hard to understand. So I feel like it's a systemic issue. It must be like driver education needs to be changed or something, but everybody else in the country has figured this out.
Yeah.
Can I just add, I think it's a GTA thing, a Greater Toronto area
Oh my God,
issue,
yes.
because in the suburbs too. Sorry, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do it even like there's other streets like around them that are empty, like especially in the suburbs where you can just take a right and dodge all this traffic and people still 100%. It's crazy.
Yeah. I do not have much of an opinion on stuff like that because first of all, I do not know how to drive. Second of all, where I come from, people also don't know how to drive, but they drive either way. So
I will say it's an issue not just for drivers, but for pedestrians, because I walk around a lot in downtown Toronto, and then people block the intersection, then other people are honking, and then but the cyclists get in and start like kicking people's cars, and then people are yelling. It's just a crazy mess anywhere I go. It's a disaster.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. The thing that annoys me with the drivers blocking things is when they block like parking spots, like when they park right in between two spots. It's just like, what happened to you in your childhood that you would turn out to be such a fucking asshole?
I think it's because like they think it's like entitlement in some way, because you literally you parked in between two spots. How could you not know? Because some people do it in such a it's so obvious, especially when there's cars beside you. Can you not see the space?
I know.
Yeah. It's especially bad. I had an argument with somebody who did that next to a disability spot. And I was arguing with them, and they were saying, well, the disability spot is larger anyway. And I was like, that's because they need the larger space. It's not larger so you can take up half of it. So
People
ridiculous.
are so stupid.
Like, thank
So
you.
they half parked in like a special access spot.
Yeah, because they thought like, well,
that's the same
it's
logic
like
with people
double
who
the
They
like
don't need it.
Yeah.
They have so much already.
Yeah.
Disabled people are taking up so much space.
Yeah, that's the same
That's
logic where
atrocious.
people like throw garbage on the ground, where they're like, oh no, there's someone who gets paid to do that.
Oh,
And
I
was
hate
like, oh,
I hate that.
so much.
Yo,
Yeah.
this is a true story.
We
a
saw
legit.
it. We saw
No.
it happen.
Listen. This is a true story. I once broke up with someone because they littered. I legitimately broke up with someone, and I don't mean like after one date. I mean like
Right then.
yeah, like after like 2 months going out, I broke up with this dude because he left like an insane mess.
Meth, yeah.
accent things. He left an insane
Yeah,
mess
if
at
there
the
was
movie
meth,
theater.
yeah.
Math. We love that. He left an insane mess at the movie theater, and I was like, are you not going to pick it up? And he was like, well, somebody gets paid to do that. And I legit was like, well, be alone.
Wait, what if it was 2 years you guys were together, and then
I
you discover that after 2 years?
I probably would judge myself for not having seen that earlier.
Wow.
I would be
I would
like,
invoice
Laura,
him for
you
that time.
stupid. No, that would be the takeaway. Like, Laura, you stupid. You didn't see this for 2 years. That means he's been walking all over you, dumb bitch. That
That's
would be
incredible. I have dated several men that have turned out to be married, and you you catch them on littering. That is incredible to me. Like, you must be so present as a person to notice those things.
yeah.
Several.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't date them after I know that. As soon as I find out, I take my purse and I walk out. They're like, are we still going to the parade? No, you go
To the Santa
on your own.
Claus
No, we're not going to the parade because they are also blocking the intersection. We're not.
Santa Claus parade.
Circle back.
In my lift, we did block that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm the biggest proof that sexuality isn't a choice because I would never choose to be attracted to straight men.
Oh, yes.
I just would never choose to go through that. So I feel like my tolerance is already really, really low. That like the smallest thing, I will be like, enough. That's the proof that I needed that this is not worth it. Whereas women, on the other hand, will walk over me, break up with me over text, and still have me crying calling them. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Harpreet, what about you? What is your biggest pet peeve?
I think I had two, but one that really sticks out because I was talking about it earlier. Was when people who humble brag, like they, like they're like, yeah, I just came back from helping a lot of people in need, and because other people aren't doing it, and yeah, I think I'm gonna get an award for it later on. I was like, I hate you. Shut up.
Sorry, that's me. That's me.
You humble brag all the time.
I do that all the time. People are like, oh, I see. I'm like, oh, I hate that I had to shave. And they're like, why'd you shave? I'm like, I got cast in this thing. And it's so annoying.
Oh, there's one comedian in particular whose name I will not mention, but I could tell you guys later on.
We love.
Yes, I'll gossip afterwards.
Don't write it down. We're on camera.
Oh, I'm not even gonna say the gender of this person, but they're such a bitch. No, not absolutely 100% not you.
Clearly a straight man.
No, but
Clearly.
with their accomplishments and the way that they almost like they say it where they're belittling your accomplishment. They're like, what do you like? Anytime I see them, they're like, hey.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. No, it's like, hey, and I'm like, hey. And then, oh, so what's new? What's happening? Right? And then and then I'm like, oh, not much. I'm working or whatever. Or like I tried this one thing, or I did like 30 minutes of stand up for the first time, whatever, like I said. And then they're like, oh, no. Now like they fucking care because they're not listening, because they're ready for me to shut up, to be like, and because for me to be like, and you? And then they're like, well, I won the Nobel Peace Prize. I just took a trip around the world, and I have 5 guys waiting for me back home. So
I think I know who this is.
I think so
I
too.
think we all
I
do.
think I just lost who it was on that last one. I didn't tell. I'm like, no, I think I had the wrong person.
Yeah. I
yeah.
love how small. I love how small the comedy scene
Yeah,
is.
I will say I think I know who this is. And when I first met this person, I literally didn't even know what their name was, and literally,
So you know, right?
yeah, and like before they introduced themselves, they started talking about their accomplishments.
Wow, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Wait, so-
it was crazy. I actually left the green room.
In case you're listening and you don't know what just happened, we full on just started passing around the little
You'll
papers.
have to subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to see.
I'm a real physical actress.
I love this. We were passing around a scrap piece of paper with like the name of the person we're talking about, and then Jen just ate that. So
You know what's funny is that person's never going to listen to this show.
no, they're
No,
not.
of course not.
They're
Not
not
until
because it doesn't involve them.
Well, because we are literally talking about them behind their back. If they caught us, I would feel really bad.
you know what? I'm not talking
Oh,
about
now I don't
them
feel
as
bad.
as a
Oh, that's right. We're talking
I'm
about
not
people
talking
who
about
humble
comedian.
brag.
Character
I'm
traits,
talking
yeah.
about them being a total cunt. like very cunty.
This is not Radio England,
Oh, sorry.
Harpreet.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, go ahead. Yes.
Content
I was
warning.
like, oh, I guess I can swear.
Yeah, just go for
There's
it.
swears and then there's the C. We're just like throwing out a daytime C.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm
yeah.
like very.
Yeah.
I throw it out
Lunchtime.
Like it's like a bird, like a
Lunchtime.
People are still at the Mandarin right now, Harpreet.
I have no like filters.
Yeah.
And I love the word cunt. To be honest, quite honest with you.
Oh.
I love the word cunt
Yeah.
too.
Listen, let's go back to the UK next year and
Yeah,
just
let's
throw
do
it
it.
around.
Let's do it. Jen, what about you? What is your biggest pet peeve?
Okay, so I brought a couple.
Very Jennifer McAuliffe style.
Boy, racist. God, they get my goat.
Oh yeah.
And then,
Oh yeah.
free speech defenders
Yes.
and NIMBY people.
What's NIMBY?
NIMBY means not in my backyard.
Yeah.
And so it's people
Oh.
that move into Parkdale, which is like, let's say an up and comer neighborhood in Toronto. and so they'll move into a neighborhood with a lot of drugs and artists and things, and then they'll get mad every time there's people doing drugs, and it's like, you moved here on purpose. You liked it because you had the big houses that were super cheap.
And it was cheap, yeah.
And the reason it was cheap was because there's meth heads around. And meth heads need to be somewhere, man. They were here first. Don't try to get rid of them. They outdate you, you know?
Yeah, it is the worst. I think of all the pet peeves that you mentioned, the one that annoys me the most is the freedom of speech defenders.
Yeah.
Because
Spent
freedom
all
of
week.
speech is not freedom of consequence.
Yes.
And that will drive me insane that somebody is just like, usually the people who complain about that are the people who are complaining about like snowflakes and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're the ones who get offended with like literally
they get so
anything.
hurt. They get
anything.
so hurt. And also, like, we all know freedom of speech is for men. Like, we all know that
Oh,
Dixie
yeah.
Chicks got
Yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
Like, nobody else is being canceled. Everybody gets canceled.
Sinead O'Connor.
Like
Yeah.
a sold-out tour in Yuck Yucks.
100%, yeah.
It's disgusting.
Also, I mean, this whole week has just been a garbage fire for freedom of speech guys, quote unquote, because of the whole Don Cherry thing.
Yeah.
It's been so huge. Yeah, you can't see me. You just turned off my monitor. But okay. It's
Yeah,
fine.
like for me, I find that the thing that annoys me is like, for instance, my mom's husband, his friends are all firefighters.
Eric.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I mean, like, look.
Yeah,
Right.
they
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we can not like what they say
Yeah.
and still appreciate
Yeah,
What they
I
do.
appreciate
I
what
do.
you
100%.
matching outfits. We can appreciate
Exactly. Yes,
I do buy that
appreciate-
calendar every year.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is literally.
I appreciate what you do, but all of his friends are, like the wedding reception took so much strength out of me to deal with being nice to all of his friends because
And they all think they're comedians too.
yeah, one of his friends, he legitimately introduces himself to me as funny guy Mike.
Oh.
Great.
This is in Canada?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the Brazilian like fireman.
Yeah.
You're like really on board.
In Canada. He legitimately introduces himself to me as a funny guy Mike, but tells me that the average lady, first of all, who the fuck says the average lady? Based on what average of
Mike
what
does.
ladies?
Well, a lady, of course, is the daughter of a knight or baron.
Yeah.
So the average, I mean, there's only about 3,000.
Yes,
So
yes.
the average
Yeah.
one would probably be a little underfed and a bit
Yes,
taller.
yes.
than us, but-
Yeah, the average lady calls him FGM, which Cliff pointed out.
I
Female
didn't even.
genital mutilation?
Yeah, I did
What?
not realize that he was calling himself that, and I thought you caught it because he was like, "Just call me FG."
I don't
Why?
speak
Like, you think
English.
she
I don't
needs to
speak
put the
English. I don't
average-
catch
Yeah,
on
I
this
was
I was
shit.
like, why?
I've
You
never heard of
literally
that.
Remove
Yeah,
your
yeah.
vagina in his company.
Yeah, I was like, why would you call yourself that?
Yeah, female genital mutilation. And then every time he comes to me and he's all like, first he's gonna spend half an hour complaining about snowflakes and how I'm doing comedy and I probably have to deal with all the sensitives. And I'm just listening to that and I'm like, sure. And then he goes on to tell me about how he could have been a comedian.
Oh, can I
Oh,
just say
of
that's
course.
another pet peeve on my own? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure
I think
we've
that's
all
Yeah.
a comedian
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you- like,
Like
that's-
real comedian thing is just like, do you don't even know what a drink ticket looks like? You
Yeah,
know
I
what
know.
I mean? Like,
Oh, you want 5 roommates in Brooklyn with bed bugs? You want this life? Come take it from me.
You
It's
want-
a burden.
yeah,
Take
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Like he tells me that he could have been a comedian, and then his joke, which to him is like fighting all the sensitives who are against freedom of speech. His entire joke is obviously him being sensitive about people
Oh,
wanting
yeah.
to like live, he's all like this is my impression of his voice. So like I recently decided to identify myself as a chair so the ladies can sit on my face, but a friend of mine called me a table and I said, did you just assume my gender? And I'm like, you should try that at an open mic.
That guy.
Yeah.
You
I
should
know.
do it. You
That
would-
guy is
you should do
literally.
it.
He's just like who's it? Jeff Garland with a
Yeah.
throat infection. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Fozzie Bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had something similar happen in one of my shows a couple weeks ago. My show for New Comedians Fresh. And so it's the only show I book where I don't know the comedians, so you don't really know what they're going to talk about. So this guy came on and he was being very misogynistic and like racist, all this crazy stuff. And then when the audience didn't respond, then he started calling them sensitive and then yelling at them. And it's like, no,
'cause,
maybe.
I mean, that's a really unsensitive perspective, isn't it? To like yell at people for not liking you.
Yeah.
It's because
Me.
they've seen it work, like one comic do it and have it work one time ever, and they think
Yeah.
that that's a valued strategy. I recently wrote an article about how to deal with like
Yeah,
freezing up
guys, you should
on
check out
stage.
Cliff
Yeah.
on Medium.
You guys go to my Medium and get me paid, please. Where one of the tips is like, oh, if you forget what you're doing, kind of like laugh at yourself and things like that. I was hesitant to put in the one where it's just like, yeah, start berating the audience.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right, you know,
Just get in
Just get in
there.
there because you can call attention to the fact that the audience did not get your joke, but to try and victimize them because
Yeah.
they don't find you funny is a whole different thing. I just didn't put it in the article.
Yeah.
I'm working on the next one. I just find it weird that everyone thinks they're going to be Bill Burr like right out
Yeah.
the gate, and that's stupid.
And it's also
Yeah.
dollars to donuts. It's guys that like, and white guys mostly,
Mhm.
who are like, well, everybody feels this way. They're just too cowardly to say. I'm
It's
gonna
like,
be the
no,
brave
you
one.
feel this way.
Yeah, and we're just like staring at them horrified about this like rape fantasy that they're talking
Yeah.
about like chopping a woman up. It sounds like
Yeah.
a weird like Eminem mixtape song. Like
Yeah.
it's so like
Yeah.
low budget
I've got-
trailer bullshit.
I've got to tell you that like one of the most cathartic experiences I had, I was at like a safe space kind of type of open mic, and this guy went up and he did exactly this kind of material, and it felt really good. It felt really good to see the white guy being the minority in the room. And it felt even better to see him getting asked to leave. It was awesome.
No, you know what though? I just can't like. They think that they see like those people like Bill Burr or the
Yeah.
person that was at Yucks a few weeks back, and
That broke son of a bitch.
yeah.
I'm too good to go to Yucks. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as a moral person.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I wouldn't do Yucks, and that bitch fell so far down that he had to go to a rat-infested basement in Toronto. Oh,
paid too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they see these guys and they're like, well, they're just saying what they think.
They're
right?
misunderstood.
And if they're
Yeah.
saying what they think, then I'm gonna do the same thing as well, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, well, first of all, there's so much more to it, and secondly, nah, man, we don't fucking need to hear you all the
No.
time. Like, keep it to yourself, or
Yeah.
like, don't be a dick. I don't know. Like,
also, it's not comedy if you're just going up and doing public speaking
right.
to silence and anger
And
and
spoken
offense.
word, yeah.
You're not.
spoken word.
It's not like you're not trying to elicit a laugh. You're trying to like go out there and show sensitive people that
Yeah.
this trans stuff is ridiculous or whatever it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
your huge point you're trying
Yeah.
to make it.
Even some people were trying to pull it off like ironically for it to be like,
Yeah.
I'm fake mad about it, and this is what those guys are gonna say. There are very few people who can pull that joke off,
Yeah.
and if you're going to take that risk, you got to put more writing into it than just yelling.
Oh, yeah.
you know? Like
Yeah. Yeah, the crazy thing, another pet peeve of mine is, so at the end of his set when people weren't laughing, he just kept up yelling, "This worked really well yesterday." Like, people loved it. And so it was,
Where at the corner?
yeah, I was just like, where? Yeah, because like anybody doing my show should know, like, I bring in a diverse audience,
Yeah.
both like
Y'all should really
yeah,
go to
both like
Bronx
gender,
shows.
race, and sexuality. So like, if you're gonna come to my show, like, I don't promote it as a safe space show, but you should know, like, obviously the audience
Yeah.
I bring in is not gonna go for that ridiculousness.
But a safe space means it's a safe space for the audience.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that like the comedian gets coddled.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good
that's the misnomer about the whole thing, or
Yeah.
the misunderstanding. It's that like these like awful road dogs, and like I'm an awful road dog, right?
Yeah.
Like I do shows in like, oh my god, I was in Morgantown, West Virginia, And they were like, "When are you coming back?" And I was like, "I hope not.
Yeah.
You know, I hope by next spring things are better." You know?
I'll be
Hopefully
there this
never.
March.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But it's like it's for the audience. It's not for the comic. And these road dogs are like, "Oh, you go and do these safe space places with like women," and like, but it means that the audience, and I'm in the audience sometimes, I don't want to hear your rape fantasies. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear you say like hateful things about trans people. Like,
Yeah.
I have trans roommates, and I have heard less about trans people and trans experiences at home than I have in a 5-minute set from some asshole.
Yeah.
You know, like,
who has no idea what he's talking about.
who's just so fixated on it, but like does not Google.
Yeah.
Like, will not find out how to
Or
use
even
any
who
of them.
when
also-
presented with
Yeah.
sources, because I'll watch these happening
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
people are getting into arguments, and then people will start posting scientific sources
Yeah.
and peer-reviewed
Yeah.
articles, and guys are like, "I'm not gonna read that because they're just
Yeah.
telling me what to think," and it's like, okay, so
But then there's
But Joe
articles-
Rogan's not.
Alex Jones
Yeah.
is telling the truth.
Yeah, but then it's also selective, right?
Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah, it
those
is.
articles, like there was that one article about how studies, so air quotes, have proven that men are funnier than women, or something like that. Some bullshit like that.
I'm so glad we studied that.
Yeah,
it's
I'm so glad we
who's fucking
studied that.
studying this shit.
Funny guy Mike.
Yeah.
Funny guy Mike. He
Right.
totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out
and
there.
it's
He
so
totally did.
subjective, and it's like, okay, so like the people that were studying this didn't find women funny. Like, sure, okay, I can take that.
Yeah.
I can absolutely take that. But also, if guys are funnier than women, then why do I have more of a Twitter following than any guy?
I know.
in
I know.
Toronto.
I know.
Where
Also,
I just
all
put
of you
out
guys
jokes.
should follow Jennifer on Twitter. Her
Oh, thank you
tweets
so
are so
much.
great.
It's not where I was going, but JenniferJokes.com
Yes.
and at JenniferJokes. Thank you so much.
There you go. There you
But,
go.
like,
Gotta promote.
But like it is, like it's impossible.
Yeah.
That people hate Amy Schumer at such like have so much vitriol for Amy Schumer, and she sold out Madison Square Gardens this weekend.
Yeah.
Like she's doing fine.
Yeah.
Like you can say women aren't funny all you want, but it's like when people come up to me to compliment me after a show and say like, normally I think women aren't funny, or
Oh,
normally I
no.
hate women comedians. I'm like, oh, thank you so
The
much.
backhanded compliments. I hate that.
All the time.
All the time.
I normally don't like female comedians. Or you didn't talk about your period. I'm like, you weren't listening.
And also, if you did talk about your period, what about all the guys who spend an entire 10-minute set talking about their dicks
Oh,
and
penis
masturbating and
jokes.
jizzing and coming and,
And
all
I've
this
been on my
shit?
So I
period
was
for a
jerking
quarter of
off
my
this
life.
one time.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's a week a month.
Yeah,
I'm on my period a quarter of my life.
I know.
And I am not allowed to talk about it.
No, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's almost close to like when people come up with like you don't do the same kind of black humor.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like
Oh.
oh well,
I hate
you know,
that.
and it's so
I
weird
hate
'cause do
everything
rap,
about that.
And people will ask me, they're like, can I say the N word in rap?
Oh,
And I'm like, I'm the
no.
wrong
Why
person
do
to
you
ask.
wanna say it? The
I'm the
question
wrong
is,
person
why
to
do
ask
you wanna
because
say it?
In the Caribbean, we don't really use it, and
Yeah.
also I don't use it
Yeah.
in any of my
Yeah.
songs. I literally use it for effect. And pretty much only when I'm in New York. So just wrong.
They use it a lot there.
Yeah, they do.
So I'm glad that we got to pour our hearts out talking shit about the comedy scene. If you, our listener, are not in the comedy scene, good for you.
Congratulations.
And we are about to cut into our musical break. And when we come back, you will get to hear two things. One, my impression of the 5 types of Toronto open mic comedians. And also our featured pet peeve of the week. Today we are discussing delusional parents. And as somebody who worked at a daycare for 5 years, I have a lot to say. So I will see you in a few minutes.
After the break.
Wow, so this is live?
Mhm.
Wow. Sorry, I just got it.
I'll take a yellow sip, cause I'm tryna have a better day. ain't gonna get delirious. Just sit here by the bay. Might take a bigger sip. Starting to feel okay. I think the party's getting serious, so all the other things can wait. Never listen to warnings, but there's no reason to worry. Done with my second drink, getting a little tipsy. Ain't gonna get delirious, so party hard till I'm 60. All the other things can wait. All the other things can wait. Well, I took too many sips. I mean, what exactly is too many? As long as I'm walking, I'm okay. I'll feel better anyway. Forgot about my problems, but how am I gonna get home? I spend all my money and drinks in our own. Never listen to warnings, but there's no reason to worry. Never listen to warnings, but there's no reason to worry. All the other things can wait. Oh, all the other things can wait. No, all the other things can wait. All the other things can wait.
Hey. Shit. When I met her with the backpack, so tan, and I'm never gonna get that. Oh man, and I'm never gonna call you like them. Why the fuck was I on you? Goddamn, but I wanna talk about it. Please just give me the options. I wanna forget you, I wanted to leave you to sell my shit at the auction. But you want me to up and leave, hey. You want me to leave my scene, hey. Man, I'll never do that. Staying true to myself and the gentleman's back, but nothing is realer to me. At the gym all the time, but your figure is weak. But I don't really give a fuck about you. I only really care what that mouth do. But I wanna be that guy for you. I wanna be that guy for me. I wanna be the top of this shit, the Mount Olympus, the Savage District. But I don't really care, I don't really fair. I'm just trying to be better. Ride together, right or wrong. Ride in town, dance right to this song. But this is crazy, I'm rocking up, and everybody get me popping it off. Giving raps, motherfuckers really wanted a ball, but I'm a loose cannon when a spark pains, and I come back, everybody calling the times, but I'm the motherfucking Manny second. I don't really give a fuck, but you lead the weapon, let's go. Damn, what the fuck are we doing? We always try and talk, but we never pursue it. Cause we just so emotional. You try to be yourself at the honor roll, but making the great tunes, making the great music, making all this shit together. Never no more, I don't care, no. I couldn't give a fuck about your hair, though. But you kinda weird, you kinda sexy, girl, you kinda weird. But still want you in my bed right now. Still really want you to come around right now. But I'm on the song for life. You are crazy with the poltergeist. You are a little crazy, the hope is nice, the older type. And I don't really get you right, but really gon' get you, really gon' feel that. I don't really care when I met you. We on the undertones, we run around damn like it's basketball. But goddamn, when I broke back, shit, we never really broke that. Goddamn, I just want a Kodak. I wanna take a photo of your whole back. But travel the world, travel the times, hide in the back, I ain't writing no rhymes. But wanna stand next to you, wanna feel your body so phenomenal, damn.
You know that I love someone else. Oh yeah, but you don't care. You want me for yourself. You're a selfish lover. Yeah, yeah. And you know I want you. Yeah, yeah.
And I about you, save me. I don't wanna know, baby. Let me think about you, save me.
We gon' get on the best after all. You know it.
Did it on my own, leaving you out in the cold, leaving you so empty. Just move on. Oh. You know it. Ooh.
Popping on the west side, cause it's where I stay. I just made 1,000, blew it in your face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I gotta blow today. Popping on the west side, cause it's where I stay. I just made 1,000, blew it in your face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I gotta blow today. I'ma blow today. I ain't hearing what they say. Need a blue face, I've been caring about the race. I've been trying to eat, I need more than just a taste. Now they trying to talk, oh no, they should know their place. Man, I'm ballin'. This ain't cap, baby, now I feel like calling. From the O, but I got the music poppin'. All the time, man, it started to get obnoxious. Now I gotta drive, yeah, I'm feeling nauseous. Gotta drive top down, then I hop out. I've been feeling hot now. Feeling like the man, I'm my own boss now. Telling all my exes, now they getting crossed out. Stopping on the west side, cause it's where I stay. I just made 1,000, blew it in your face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I gotta blow today. Popping on the west side, cause it's where I stay. I just made 1,000, blew it in your face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I gotta blow today.
I already blew up, man, I knew I would okay. Who the hell is you to tell the dude that I ain't great? Play my work, then work my plan, and now I'm on my straight. I soak up the love and I repel all of the hate. Big Sage, why they tryna play us? I make 20 racks to wrap up on the stage, I invested that right back to my estate, Dinner table, everyone gon' get a play, Started with $5 bills, shoot for dollars in the Ville. I'm in the villa, I'm counting the spiller. My mama say I gotta chill. Turn it down, record deals. Now I got a couple mil. Automated all the bills. I'm concerned about the thrills. I'm on a yacht with a big booty, 10 out of 10, little mama. I'm on a tour bus, moving around the country, counting money in pajamas. I don't deal with any drama. You gotta email my sister. That's my assistant. I'm about the business. God is my witness.
On the west side, cause it's where I stay. I just made 1,000, blew it in your face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I gotta blow today. Popping on the west side, cause it's where I stay. I just made 1,000, blew it in your face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I gotta blow today.
If I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend? She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the pool, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. When you got me fiending for your body, you might turn me to a yes, man. Oh, yeah. 80 and a 40, I'm a nervous bitch, I'm flyer than your ex, man. We ain't gotta go outside. Two-step in the rain. Wake up by my side. Don't care what you think. Oh, you just my type. Oh yeah, she know the deal like an old script. You ain't the first to really sell that shit. Champagne with the roof gone. Bump this jam back in Tucson. Think I got to get a move on. Never had much to lose, but you could do better with me in the middle of the road, the back of the Jeep. So baby, let's not talk about it. But I gotta know, if I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend? She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the pool, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. When you got me fiending for your body, you might turn me to a yes, man. Oh yeah. 80 and a 40, I'm a nervous bitch, I'm flyer than your ex, man. act so extra. Let me in your section. Running through my mind, we got a connection. Back home ain't the same. Your pop's drinking all the time. You just wanna get away. Come hop up in my ride. Two goofies on the run, couple 40s in the backseat. Spirits in my lungs, got my voice a little raspy. Turn me to a yes man. Before we do this, girl, I got a question. If I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend? She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the pool, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. Well, you got me feeling for your body, you might turn me to a yes, man. Oh, yeah. 80 and a 40, I'm a nervous bitch, I'm flyer than your ex, man. Oh, yeah. Flyer than your ex, like, oh my god. Right into your legs like, oh my god. And let's go on a date like, oh my god. When I'm back from LA like, oh my god, yeah. She still think it's odd, yeah. I got all these fans, she's the only one I want, yeah. Impress me with your mind, I might turn you to a mom, yeah. You might get a pension if you work it for me long, yeah. It's gonna be a long, yeah. I don't know how they get like that. Recognize my wrongs and get them fixed like that. Booming through my city with my people all around. Is you coming with me or you staying on the ground? Yeah. Yes or no? How'd it go? Where your man? Do you got one on the low? Oh, you do? How'd I know? Born in 1994. You still a scrub, but I still don't think you notice how to love. But I gotta know that if I take you down, would you really hold me down? I'd be your best friend. She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the pool, and I'm like, yes, man. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. The way you got me feeling for your body, you might turn me to a yes, man. Oh yeah, oh yeah. 80 and a 40, I'm a nervous bitch, I'm flyer than your ex, man. I'm flyer than your next, man. I'm flyer than your...
And we are back. Did you miss us? I know you did. Hello. I hope you enjoyed this little musical break that we had. All of our artists are from Artlist, and it's really nice because they're copyright. A lot of them are local artists, and they do not get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, that's right. Go out and support the Manda.
Yes, you should. And if you happen to be a SoundCloud artist and you would like some of your songs featured, feel free to email me some of your submissions to mandabalapetpeeves@gmail.com. So, let's get to what really matters here. Delusional parents.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I worked at a private daycare for 5 years, and
So sorry.
I know. I like to joke in my stand-up that the daycare really changed me because I used to be pro-life. And then ever since I started working there, I see so many of those parents, and I feel like I really understand Thanos. I really understand his point of view.
He was an adopted parent too.
Yeah, like I really understand Thanos. It's like some of you should not have had the right to procreate.
That's always the thing, though. It's always dumb people that get kids like first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they have
it's
multiples.
It's the whole thing. And the thing that annoyed me the most at the daycare is because, children are but an offspring of their parents. And as much as I love children as a general concept, if the people who made you are inconsequential pieces of shit, they will breed the Antichrist. It's just the way that it is. You know what I mean? There's no arguing this. And then they breed the Antichrist, and then I have to take care of the Antichrist. And then the Antichrist does Antichristing, which is what? Biting other kids, ruining people's lives, peeing on my foot. Yes, that's something.
And it's always Kyle.
Shitting
it's always
on
a Kyle.
my hand. Again, something that happened. Both of those times on purpose, mind you.
Yeah.
Purpose, okay? Peeing on my foot, making eye contact with me. And then I call the other teachers to come witness this. And then what does he do? and then everybody's like, Laura, you're just being irrational. He's just a 4-year-old. He is the devil. He is the devil. Have you met his parents? They're politicians. He is the devil. Okay?
What do you guys have to say about delusional parents?
I work as I don't want to say teacher, but someone like more of a supervisor of children. Yeah, just like there, just to make sure nothing happens and micromanage. But some parents are either like they're too into their kids, as in like everything about them,
Yeah.
and, like what time they ate, when they had their bowel movements and all that kind of stuff. Oh, thank you. Or like they're like way too into that. And then there's some parents who are just like, is my kid still alive? All right, cool. Like there's just, I was like, okay, sweet. I got
Is he the same color?
Yeah,
all right,
like,
go
I
ahead.
guess
Yeah, it's fine.
Is he the same
Okay,
color?
I guess I should make dinner then for 2 people.
Yeah.
So it's the weirdest thing. Like, for example, I work for this company where I, quote unquote, teach kids science, and which is really just me reading out of a manual. And there was one parent who came in and was talking to one of the daycare teachers about one of their children, and was like, okay, he brought back his lunch last week or yesterday, and I don't understand why he didn't eat it. And
Yeah.
the daycare teachers, they have other students there, first of all.
Yeah.
Right? They have to take care of the other kids. And then secondly, they're like, we can't force feed your kid. But then the parent was pissed off. It's like, why are you getting so fucking pissed off? Like,
Yeah.
you can't, what do you think this is?
Your kid doesn't like your baked beans, Karen. Okay, like
I know.
Either they don't like your food or they're not hungry.
No. On that matter, one thing that like drove me insane, there was this particular family from all my years in the daycare that literally made me see blood every time they came in because they were so delusional. They raised their 4-year-old like at home the whole time with no socialization, no talking to other children, no nothing. This child was breastfeeding still at 4 years old.
So weird to me.
Always breastfeeding still. He wouldn't
Can
talk.
I just say, if you still remember your mother's breast, that's fucked.
That's exactly. He was still breastfeeding. He didn't know how to eat. He didn't know how to eat by himself.
What the hell?
He had to be like fed and all this shit. So like, here's the thing. Okay, children develop like at different stages, and until like
Vong is dying. At the
no,
thought of this.
because listen,
Ew, titties.
until you get to kindergarten, the shit doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you're in the development of a toddler, you should be with toddlers, learning the shit that a toddler should. But they demanded that he had to be with all the 4-year-olds who were light years, galaxies away from him.
But also, it's like, if he has to be with the 4-year-olds now, why didn't you have this attitude when he was 3?
Exactly.
Why weren't you putting him with 3-year-olds?
Because they're fucking delusional. And then he would do shit like sticking his hand inside his diaper, which by the way, again, you're 4 years old. He would stick his hand inside his diaper, get poo, throw it at the other kids, and then I have to explain to the other kids' parents that they have a fucking pink eye because the Theodore chose to throw like poo at them, and then they're like, but why is a kid throwing poo
This
at
kid
them
is
in
a
the
chimp.
playground?
This kid was raised by chimps. I
And
feel
then,
like-
and then you try to explain to the parents why Theodore had to like have a timeout and all this shit, and it's like he threw poo, and then they get mad at me for that.
yeah. Vong, you look like you have a story.
Yes, tell
Well,
us.
so the thing is for me is like as a gay man, I've been able to insulate myself from people with kids. Like, none of my friends have kids, and when my gay friends adopt kids, they generally just disappear.
Yeah.
For like 18 years, because like what are we gonna do with them, right?
Yeah.
But I do agree on the point about kids being evil because so for me like. I read what was that, Lord of the Flies?
Yeah.
And I honestly,
Such a good book,
That
though.
is how I think of kids. Like, you know how like everybody is always like, oh, kids are born innocent, they're little angels and they get corrupted by the world. I'm like, no, kids are born evil and you have to teach
You
them
have to
They learn how
teach
to behave.
them.
not to be
Yeah.
evil.
They're so selfish,
Like,
so mean.
Yeah, they're not born angels. They are born selfish.
Exactly.
And you have to teach them.
The only reason we think
Yeah.
they're angels is because they don't have the muscle mass to do evil shit yet.
Yeah. Or the mental power for it.
Oh,
But I gotta
some
tell
kids
you,
are mad strong.
I
Yeah,
gotta
some
tell
kids
you,
are mad
one
strong.
there was this one kid who was like, again, because she had no filters, like you're just who you are, and if who you are is a bitch, then that's what I have to deal with, right? And like she would do things like be like, Laura, what are those bumps on your face? And I'd be like, those are pimples, and she'd be like, why do you have them? And I was like, I don't know. And then I would come back without pimples, and she'd be like, what happened to the bumps on your face? And I'm like, oh, they're gone. I cleared my skin. And I shit you not, she would look me up and down and be like, I like to better with those.
Oh my god.
It's like,
No satisfying the child.
yeah. There's no like you're breaking me down.
You get
You're
bullied
ruining me.
professionally. That's
I
what that
am.
is.
I am professionally bullied.
I just have there was a story. Sorry, not like it's not long, but I was supervising this one class where the teachers were there, and there were only 5 toddlers at this daycare, right? In this daycare classroom. Only 5. There were 2 teachers, and one of them was a fucking maniac. Okay, he was the worst one I've ever done. I worked at a daycare too, Laura. So
Yeah.
I've worked at daycares. I've worked with kids.
You've
a
been through
lot.
hell.
Yeah,
You've
and
been through hell.
This one was the worst, and he would try to like bite other kids, and he was like, and then like the teacher would like, so like, you know, sometimes there's tactics that you use to try to divert their attention, to be like, okay, calm down,
Let's look at the book.
Yeah.
Let's think about the library.
So usually one of them could be like just spend, like sitting with the kid and doing
Yeah.
activities with the kid, and that kid would be like, he has an agenda. He would be like, no, I'm gonna bite. For example, like Vong and Jen were kids. Would be like, I'm gonna bite Vong first. When Vong's busy crying and that teacher's dealing with him, then I'm gonna slap Jennifer across the head
I've had
so
those.
hard.
I've had those.
Like that's it. Like that was his thing. And guess
Evil
what? I
babies.
found out. And then he just kept doing it, and like they would like calm down for a second, and then he would do something again, calm down, and then I found out that the owner of that daycare was his grandmother, and she had to come, and she'd be like, you know, I don't know what his name was, but like, let's just say Owen, okay, come with me to the office. She just bring him to the office, and he would just start ruckus there while she's on the phone doing business.
So she's a delusional grandma.
Yeah, so it just goes down generations.
It's
That's
a
what it is. Yeah.
I think it's a DNA problem.
Yeah, I will say I feel kind of like there are. I will say there's 2 mothers in my life who are delusional parents, but it's kind of tough because we're trying to, you know, give them the messaging that they're being delusional, but we're giving them leeway because both of them were trying for kids for so long, and they both thought they would never have kids. They had like bad medical news, and they finally got kids after like 4 or 5 years, and so they're overindulging, but now the kids are getting to a point where it's like out of control. So we're trying to find a way to talk to them, but with the we kind of get why they're delusional because they were so happy, but now it's like.
Yeah,
you know, maybe
and
we
the,
should.
And the worst thing is
step
that
in.
when we talk about delusional parents, we usually talk about, you know, parents of young children. But like I know a few grown ass people with parents who are so, like a friend of mine, her parents, they're so insanely like controlling, and she's 21 years old, and they want to have like a tracking app on her phone at all times to see all of her locations. And and if she's going to like a boyfriend's house or something like that, she has to ask me to download the app, turn on the app so that she tells them that she's at my house, so that she's like 21. And it's like she puts up with that because
She hasn't figured out how to get a second phone yet?
No,
She's got to talk to my boy Cliff.
Yeah,
I
come on,
use a
yeah.
burner phone like every 4 months.
Just hit me up if you need an extra phone for a decoy for your parents. Yeah, this is what it is.
yeah, Yeah, because
How many phones have I bought off you? Like 3?
I think it's like 3 phones now.
Yeah.
I love this
Wow.
contraband.
And then you can just go to Public Mobile, $20 a month.
Don't even do that. Go to a gas station. If you have the time, go to a Flying J and get one of those SIM cards. And make sure
now
that.
we're talking
yeah,
my language.
yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
When we're talking about poverty, I'm listening.
Love it.
It gives you a taste of a comedian's life where you
Yeah.
multiple jobs and try so hard to get by.
Yeah.
Yes.
But my parents, so my family were Irish, right?